This is my personal blog, and I do a quote and a blog for the day, and this one is going to be for March 19th, 2023. My quote for today: "We cannot trust those who dedicated their life to deceive. We cannot allow what comes out of their mouths to be believed. We have to make choices that give life a chance. We cannot listen to those whose egos love to prance. Within the hallowed halls of the ancient greats are those who watch the strings of the fates. They have a scissors in their hands and can see into the future plans of tyrants and terrorists, of statesmen and journalists, and they make the decisions to cut away some whose plans will lead to dismay. There are karmic patterns that will get snipped. Eventually, all powers will be stripped." And my blog for today. Yesterday, I took the time to plant a climbing peony that was gifted to me from my best friend in Sonoma. It was in their backyard but needed another home, so they drove all the way with the uprooted plant in a plastic container to find a better place. I looked all around to find a sunny place because that is what such a plant loves, and I found a spot that I thought would be perfect. As my husband and I dug down, we hit lots of tree roots right in the way, like that big. With much effort and determination, we cut back the heavy roots of the nearby trees that we had cut down about 2 weeks ago as a fire prevention process, as they were too close to the house. So at least we knew that the trees were not going to need those roots. In the last few weeks, while it was wet from the rain, we did about 10 burn piles of brush and moved the big tree trunks and logs over to our firewood processing area by our splitter. It has been a massive project, and we had lots of help from professional tree trimming men and the heavy equipment guys that can move the brush and debris over to the burn piles and stack the big logs. We have so much cleared out, burn piles done, and enough firewood for 3 years at least. We are still reshaping the hill, so that will be a bit more usable for us, and we will still have to redo all the fencing that we tore out. But such a thing is fun for me to do, as long as we still have the neighbor with the heavy equipment to help move the dirt around. In these times where we all have to pay attention to the fire danger, it feels good to clear stuff away from the house and limb up the great redwoods near us. I can already see that the trees have now more light and seem happier, more content as they spread out, and their roots are less cramped. It reminds me that we all need space to be. We need spaces to grow into. We need spaces to discover how much we can expand, and we need permission to be allowed to do just that. With growth comes sacrifices. Some of those trees needed to go, and I could feel them in distress. While I hate cutting down trees, I kept feeling that they were going to fall on the house, and sure enough, once we cut them down, we discovered that they were rotten in their center. All they needed was one big wind and they would have fallen over on the house. In all lives, we have a time to begin, a time to grow, a time to be stunning, and a time to let go. I can see that I have been the first three, and now I am resting in the later times where I learn to be free. Thanks, everyone.